View of a modified Fire TV Cube 2 with a permanent custom launcher on the FireOS side and with CoreELEC Kodi fully installed onto the internal flash storage. Could this be the ultimate Kodi box if you were to magically infuse a Ugoos AM6B Plus with a Homatics 4K Plus? Pretty much, yes. Having this by modifying the Fire TV Cube 2, rooting it, and doing all the setup work isn't for the faint of heart. I'll talk about this at the end. For now, let me demo the fully set up Cube 2. Please see the description below the video for links to everything I reference. When choosing Android, my Cube 2 boots directly into the custom launcher I'm using. No ads and junk-cluttered Amazon interface. Mine's setup looks simple and welcoming. You can see that I have the latest FireOS for the Cube 2. And with this, Prime Video works perfectly with 4K and HDR10+. I'm not paying the extra for now to get ad-free with Dolby Vision and Atmos. I just have something against paying for Amazon devices and services and still putting up with ads. After trying out several custom launchers, I settled on Wolf Launcher, and I now have this clean and simple interface. With SmartTube, Plex, Peacock, and other apps, I get 4K and HDR formats as expected, and JOC Atmos for titles that have it. For connectivity, I'm using Wi-Fi as that produces better speeds and throughput compared to several USB 3.0 Ethernet adapters that I tested. This is a solid result for Wi-Fi 5 AC. After this, I'll share my local network throughput results using iPerf between my Synology NAS and this cube. Now, iPerf test results. So with wire, the best I could get was between 390 and 399 megabits per second, as you see here. Now, iPerf using Wi-Fi. So 416 to 428 megabits per second is the best I can get over Wi-Fi, and that's more than enough for any UHD RIP and more, as you'll see in a minute. That's it for the FireOS Android side. Now let's switch over to the CoreELEC side. After this is done, I'll tell you how the switchover timing compares with Ugoos AM6B Plus and with Homatics. This is my custom CoreELEC splash screen. See description below if you're interested in how to do this. Cube 2's boot up speed was similar to that of AM6B Plus. And the similarities don't stop there because both devices are powered by similar AM logic chips. Whether speed, power, or video performance, Kodi navigation, library scans, and video playback are almost identical. In actual use, I found Cube 2 ever so slightly faster. Looking this up on AI seemed to confirm my suspicion. Or maybe it's just placebo. With CPU benchmark tests, it failed to return results for me for some reason. But looking at tests that others have done under FireOS, it looks like the Cube 2 scored a little bit lower than Ugoos AM6B Plus. If the CPU benchmark had worked within CE, I'm guessing the result would have likely been the same or slightly better than AM6B Plus. This was me during initial setup doing a full Kodi library scan. It was fast. As fast as AM6B Plus, but I find the library navigation a touch faster. We'll give you a sense of that in a bit. I decided to use CoreELEC NG Nightlies instead of CPM build A14 because of enhancements, particularly for the Cube 2, as opposed to the former. If and when the next CPM build based on CoreELEC 21.3 is available, I'll install that. By the way, if you're planning to use Bluetooth remotes, you'll need two of them, one for the FireOS side and the other one for CoreELEC. Showing you quickly under Kodi CoreELEC settings that I have Dolby Vision options available. So first things first, for video tests, let's do a Dolby Fel full enhancement layer test. And awesome, this is what we want to see. And one more failed test, the woman being visible at about 80 seconds. Let me skip ahead to that 80-second mark. And voila, there she is, confirming Fel support for us. Now let me play a Dolby Vision Profile 5 demo. This looks excellent in person. My iPhone 15 Pro Max makes it look a little bit reddish and purplish than it actually is. Quickly playing one more DV Profile 5 clip. Again, looks even better in person and obviously more color accurate than the iPhone here. Now let me play a Dolby Vision Profile 7 UHD rip. This is what I meant earlier about the library navigation being a bit faster than the Ugoos AM6B Plus. I find the playback start time a tad faster as well. Let me skip ahead a bit here to avoid any copyright dings. Again, this looks great and more color and skin tone accurate in person than using the iPhone here. Next, testing HDR10 Plus with two different clips. There, contrast increased as expected per dynamic metadata change. And there, brightness decreased as expected. Now playing the HDR10 Plus NASA International Space Station clip. And this too plays perfectly in HDR10 Plus. So as to not bore you with what we know, with legacy MPEG2 and VC-1 videos, with progressive and interlaced, just like the AM6B Plus, Cube 2 with CE played all those perfectly, with hardware decoding. In terms of modern video codecs, namely AV1 and VP9, like AM6B Plus or any other Amlogic S922X box, VP9 plays okay with hardware decoding, but AV1 does not. Not that long ago, if you had told me the Amazon Fire TV Cube 2 would support and play Framepacked 3D MVC, I would have told you you were nuts. And that's exactly what we can do now, unofficially of course. The 3D quality here looks great. As of this recording, 3D MVC works better on CENG S922X boxes like this, not on Homatics and variant boxes with NG. To get proper 3D MVC on those, you need to upgrade to CENO, but then you lose Dolby Vision fill. Now let's test high bitrate files and actual movies over Wi-Fi. I tried Samba protocol with mounted shares, then tried WebDAV or HTTP, but didn't find any discernible difference between the two and stuck with the former. Let me play this 400 megabits per second bitrate test clip all the way to make sure that it plays smoothly over Wi-Fi. And it does, which means it bodes well for any UHD rip. 144 megabits per second is the theoretical limit for disks. Now let's test a couple of those actual high bitrate UHD rips. Trying to jump ahead to a scene with a lot of action. I actually ended up rewatching this entire movie and experienced no issues. The playback was solid from start to finish. Let me test one more high bitrate UHD movie. I didn't rewatch this whole movie, but about 25 minutes of it to make sure it played smoothly, and it did.
But by then we had another reason to go back. Tommy. Tommy.
Finally, I'll test some HD audio clips, specifically object-based Dolby Atmos and DTS:X, and also LPCM to make sure that it's being passed in full quality. Starting with True HD Dolby Atmos. This is a really cool Atmos clip, especially the part that's coming up. See description below to get this and many more.
Gravity.
Next up, DTS:X Master Audio. And finally, LPCM. I did try additional HD audio clips, and support was exactly like that of AM6B+, in that they all played properly. This is playing properly in full 7.1, 48 kHz, 16-bit. One final test. Let's see how long it takes to switch over to FireOS from CoreELEC. So this is getting to almost twice as long as booting the other way from FireOS to CoreELEC. So, is a rooted Fire TV Cube 2 with CoreELEC installed to its internal flash the best do-it-all enthusiast box? I think a strong case could be made for it. It's the best of Ugoos AM6B Plus combined with Homatics-based players. The only real negative against it is lack of AV1 playback, which as of now is hardly a big deal. I've already removed my Fire TV Cube 3 from my AV rack, and who knows, I may do the same with AM6B Plus. So, if you're interested in doing what I and others have done, you need to get a Fire TV Cube that's below a certain firmware. ES7646 or older so you can root it. XDA forum links in the description below will have all you need. Just get ready to do a lot of reading. But you'll get the support you need. The surefire way is to get something new and sealed off eBay usually. As of this recording, prices have been ranging from around $70 to $90 US. As I noted earlier, this is not for the faint of heart. Here's the thread where you'll be starting. I would advise waiting for CoreELEC 21.3 to be released. The entire setup process and instructions should both be simpler than they are now as of this recording. My own adventure to root and fully set up the Cube 2 exactly the way I wanted took a couple of days, with progress, hurdles, and setbacks along the way. But fear not, the amazing Prometheus on XDA Forum who put the information and all the resources together is there as a patient and trusty guide. So Prometheus's name and avatar in Greek mythology point to someone who equipped humanity with technology and knowledge. I can't think of a more apt name for this individual. So in summary, here are all the things I did with my Fire TV Cube 2 that you saw in the demos earlier. A modded, souped-up Fire TV Cube 2 may just be the best enthusiast Kodi-centric media player that combines the best of Ugoos AM6B Plus with that of Homatics variant players. Thank you for watching.